Hi guys, it's Mark from the Trove and long time no see. I know I've been away for a while, but I had to do this special video because it is my 4th YouTube anniversary this past May. It officially marked my 4 years on YouTube, which is crazy. So I thought I would do a fun video in my onesie, just hang out. This is the first time I've been able to wear makeup in like over a month because I had a really bad breakout of eye eczema. So I thought it would be just the perfect time to sit down. Plus, I'm getting ready to move really soon, so this background won't be like my background forever, and it's really sad because it's been my background for so long, and I got it all set up like in this little corner, like my filming corner. I'll have a new filming corner soon, obviously, but I figured because it was a YouTube anniversary, I might as well film in my old place. So I decided to do the TMI tag, which is like 50 questions, so we should probably get started because I don't get really personal here a lot on my channel. That's why I did the first time tag last year. So I have the questions on my phone on my ridiculous phone case, so let's get started. First question is, what are you wearing? And I'm wearing this awesome piglet onesie that I got at a thrift sale for $3. Number 2, have you ever been in love? Yes, I have been in love and am right now. Number 3, have you ever had a terrible breakup? Yes. Really extremely terrible, horrible. That's all the details I'll go into. 4, how tall are you? I'm small. I'm only 5'2", and a lot of people are always surprised by that because they're like, you look so tall in pictures, or like, I never realized how short you were. Like, I get that a lot. Like, all of a sudden someone will look at me and just like realize how small I am, like they didn't ever notice before. No, I'm small. 5, how much do you weigh? I weigh about 112 to like 117, just depending on the day. Number 6, any tattoos? Nope, I'm a tattoo virgin. Number 7, any piercings? No, I'm a piercing virgin. I have absolutely no, not even my ears pierced. Nothing. None. Zero. Zilch. Completely zero. It's weird. A lot of people think that's super weird. I don't know why. It's just something that I never did. Number 8, OTP. Okay, when this tag was really popular, this was like probably 4 years ago when this tag was popular, because I never can do anything on time when it's popular. I was like, oh shit, what would my OTP be? And I thought about it for a really long time, and it's definitely Daphne and Niles from Frasier. I know, spoiler alert, that they end up together. So it's not like a wishful ship or anything. It's like they actually end up together, but they are my OTP for sure. Phone locked, god damn it. Number 9, favorite show, and oh my goodness, this is such a hard question to answer because I watch way too much TV. But my favorite show definitely is Sex and the City. I own the entire series on DVD. It's been my favorite show since I was 18. I love the writing. Is really good. The character development, I don't know, there just wasn't ever a show like that, and Brian actually really likes it too. I think anybody of any background or like gender or sexuality or anything can really appreciate it. It's just like, it's kind of like a classic. And then I obviously have like a million other shows that I love watching. Like, I love Lost, I love Dexter, I love like Invader Zim, Hey Arnold, like all those cartoons. Ongoing shows, Pretty Little Liars is actually one of my favorites. It's ending really soon. I'm really sad about that. It's really hard because I don't keep up with like TV. I think Pretty Little Liars is like the only show I've ever religiously kept up with in like 10 years. So, sorry. Favorite bands? Okay, well, my favorite band since I was 16, always be my favorite band, is Bright Eyes. I know Connor Oberst is like the helm there, and it's really just his work, but it was a band. The Dresden Dolls, also one of my favorites forever. Still listen to that music on a regular day-to-day basis. All the albums are great. I don't like Amanda Palmer's solo stuff, but the Dresden Dolls is definitely like, Bright Eyes and the Dresden Dolls are my 2 top favorites. But my other favorites are definitely the ones I grew up listening to, and that's My Chemical Romance, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge will always be one of my favorite albums. New Found Glory, Blink-182, and then there's like all my classic rock bands that I love. Like I love Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Eagles, obviously the Beatles. My dad is like the world's biggest Beatles fan, so definitely one of my favorites. Rolling Stones, just like all those classics, those are my favorite bands. Like that's like rock and roll from classic all the way up to like the scene pop punk era will always be like my thing, because I like, Brian and I were like part of the scene and we're like pop punk kids and went to shows, and like that music will always be a part of me forever. And then classic rock I grew up with will always be a part of me, so it's really hard to narrow it down to like favorite band. 11. Something that you miss. I miss the scene, like bringing up the bands. Like I miss being able to like go to shows whenever and just having that community. It was really fun just being able to go to like on the weekend just like to a local show and like discover some like great bands was something that I really miss. I really miss that. Also I miss really warm weather, because even though it's June it's still like 50 degrees here. Oh. Number 12 is your favorite song. Oh my god. I used to have a list of my favorite songs in my phone. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to like narrow down my favorite songs. The ultimate favorite song ever, and I know this is my favorite song ever, is Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. It is my favorite song, and it always will be. I have to listen to it like once a day or at least once every other day. It's new to me every time. The lyrics are just so poetic and like familiar to like my struggles with life. Like I know it's about drug addiction and I've never had problems with drug addiction, but I do struggle with like the lows, and like I think my life is like pretty semi-charmed. Like I haven't had too many ridiculous struggles like where I'm going to be thrown out onto the street or anything. So like, and I feel like I need something else to get me through this semi-charmed life. Like I don't know, it will always be my favorite song. And it turns 20 this year. It came out in 97. Like, that makes me feel so old. How old are you? Speaking of old, I'm 27 and I'm going to be 28 in like 4 months. No, 2 months? 3 months? Ooh, I don't want to be 28. Can I just turn 27 again and then maybe have the possibility of joining the 27 club? Number 14. What's your zodiac sign? I am a Virgo, and I'm like one of the only Virgos that I know and have ever known. Nobody in my family is a Virgo. None of my friends have ever been Virgos. I wasn't even supposed to be a Virgo. I was supposed to be a Libra, but ew, like I'm glad I'm not a Libra. No offense, Libras, but yeah, I am a Virgo, and sometimes I feel like a Virgo and sometimes I don't. So, I don't know. Astrology, right? Number 15. I don't even know if I've been saying the numbers, but number 15. Quality that you look for in a partner. I look for in a partner, and my partner now will show you this, someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously, for sure. Like, they have to have a good sense of humor and be able to roll with life and not take themselves too seriously. Life can be shitty. Life can be really hard, but when you maintain that childlike spirit and are able to goof around and just be dumb, it makes everything so much more fun. Number 16, your favorite quote. And I actually do have a favorite quote. I'm not like one of those girls that like looks for like super lovey-dovey quotes or inspirational quotes or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not that person, but I do have a favorite quote. And it's from one of my heroes, Hunter S. Thompson, and it is, "Too weird to live, too rare to die." And Brendan Urie ripped that off for his album and took it as his own, but yeah, it's not his, it's Hunter S. Thompson, and I always thought that that would be like my first tattoo if I ever got a tattoo, because it's definitely my favorite quote. I told one of my teachers in college that I wanted to have that on my headstone when I died, so will forever be my favorite quote. Actually, the whole thing is like my favorite quote. Here's actually the entire quote. It's, "There he goes, one of God's own prototypes, a high-powered mutant of some kind. Never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, too rare to die." Number 17, your favorite actor. Now that is also like an impossible question for me to answer. Because I just rewatched The Prestige, I am inclined to say Christian Bale because he is such a good actor, and there have been very few movies that I've ever seen with him in that I like 100% hate. Heath Ledger was one of my favorite actors. He was amazing. If we're talking women, Keira Knightley, for sure. I love her so much. She's great. I love her so much, and I respect her acting prowess so much. Favorite color? Orange, if that's not obvious. Like, I mean, it's not obvious, but like on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that it's obvious. Like, orange is my favorite color. And when I was a kid, not even when I was a kid, when I graduated from high school, parents bought me one of those clamshell iBooks that was orange. I'll insert a picture if you have no idea what I'm talking about and are too young to even know what I'm talking about. It even had a handle, and it was orange, and the background was orange, and someone had customized it to be able to run Mac OS X because iBooks were never made to run OS X. So it lasted me for a long time, for like 5 years before it wouldn't run anything anymore, because this person had like messed around with it and made it be able to run it. But I still have it. I'll never get rid of it. I even have a poster of all the original iMacs with like all the colors, but like I was so obsessed with this orange like iBook. It was great, and I don't know. I've always been like super into orange, and it's weird, and a lot of people think it's weird because it's not like a lot of people's favorite color, but it's mine, okay? And I will stand by it forever. Number 19, like I said, I don't know if I'm going with the numbers or not. Loud music or soft? And definitely loud music. I prefer loud music all the time. In the car, my music is always way too loud. Like, it'll come on when Brian gets in the car with me and he'll be like, what the fuck? I play my stereo here too loud. Like, the one and only time that we've ever gotten a noise complaint living here for 8 years was because I was playing my music too loud. When I'm home alone, I'll play the music loud. I really, like, soft music doesn't do anything for me. I want to hear it loud, and I want to sing it. And if it's too loud, you're too old, okay? Number 20, where do you go when you're sad? When I'm sad, I like to get in my car and drive around for hours and hours. Like, sometimes I'll just drive around for 3 hours listening to music. It's very cathartic to me. It helps relieve my anxiety. It helps my depression. So that's definitely where I go. Number 21, how long does it take you to shower? It takes me on average like 25 to like 40 minutes depending on what I'm doing, not gonna lie. Number 22, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Now that also depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just rolling out of bed and not wearing makeup, I can be ready to go somewhere in 5 minutes. But if I'm like really like gonna take my time and get ready, like pick out a nice outfit, do my makeup, make sure I look really nice and put together, it can take me like 45. 23, have you ever been in a physical fight? Not with a stranger. The only person I've ever really been in a physical fight with is my cousin, and that's more like we were kind of like walloping on each other like dumb cousins do. It wasn't like a real fight, so no. I've never been in a physical fight. Number 24, turn on. Since we're not speaking in the sexual sense, let's please not. Funny people. People who like to read. People who like are introspective and like to look at things and examine them. Pretty eyes. I don't know. These are really weird things that I'm saying, but that's, I don't know. Someone who laughs a lot and doesn't take them so seriously, like I said before. Turn off is definitely like cockiness. Like, cockiness to be funny is funny, like when you're not taking yourself seriously. But like cockiness and like arrogance, like legit arrogance, is really fucking annoying to me. And it's like the number one turn off for me forever. Number 26, the reason I joined YouTube, because I was addicted to YouTube and I was like, hey, maybe I should try that. It looks fun. Number 27, fears. What are my fears? I don't know. As I've gotten older, like I used to be scared of everything, but as I've gotten older, I'm afraid of very little, and that's really weird for me to say. Like, to quote Motion City Soundtrack, the future freaks me out. Like, the future is scary to me because it's all uncertain and you could die tomorrow. And I'm afraid that I'll never be able to be what I want it to be. That's mainly my biggest fear. And sometimes I get really scared of the dark, not gonna lie. Last thing that made me cry. I don't even remember. What was I crying about? I don't even know. Probably something dumb like K-pop or something. Oh no. Number 29, last time you said you loved someone. Probably like a half an hour ago. The meaning behind my YouTube name. Number 30. Meaning behind your YouTube name. It's Treasure X Trove. That was the name of my blog URL, was Treasure X Trove, and because the treasure trove is such a simplistic name, obviously the URL, the treasure trove, wasn't available, so I chose Treasure X Trove. Now my YouTube name is the Treasure Trove, and that's what my blog has always been since I started it in 2010. So that's the meaning behind it, and I wanted it to just be a treasure trove of all my stuff that I could look back on in like 20 years and be like, hey, that was all my stuff and that was me. Number 31, the last book I read. The last book I read and completed was I'm Trained by Patti Smith. That was amazing. Patti Smith is one of my heroes. I really loved that book. So yes, and then 32 is the book you're currently reading, and that is, I'm reading 4 different books because I'm just, I don't know, I just don't even have time to read right now. Fast Food Nation, which is really interesting. It's like it's a non-fiction sociology kind of book. It's a fiction book. I'm reading Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. F. Scott obviously wrote The Great Gatsby, which is my favorite book. So I was reading another one of his works. It's taken me like 8,000 years to read it because it's a lot more complexly written than The Great Gatsby because they were written 10 years apart. A horror, American horror anthology. I'm slowly working my way through that. And this book I picked up at the dollar store called Man in the Empty Suit, which is like about time travel, and this guy that he holds a convention for like all of his selves like throughout all of time. Because he's a time traveler, so there's like on this certain day a year he holds a convention for all of his selves. So it's like him at 19 all the way up to like him at like 65, like all different versions of him. And the one year he shows up, he's like 30 in this, the specific one he's talking about. He gets, one of his selves gets murdered, and he has to figure out who it is that did it, because if he doesn't figure it out, he will cease to exist at that age, and then all the older hymns that are at the convention obviously won't exist either, so they're trying to help him. It's really kind of interesting, but I really kind of don't like the way that it's written. Like, the plot is really interesting, and it's a very interesting theory, but like, I don't know, I just don't like how it's written, and I honestly don't like the character, and it's like 1,000 different versions of him, so like, I don't know. It's taken me forever to read it. Number 33, last show you watched. Last night, Brian and I restarted Bored to Death because it's been like 7 years since we watched it, and we watched season 1 and 2 and never finished season 3, never even started it. So because we have HBO now, we decided to start it over. So Bored to Death. 34, last person I talked to, and that is Brian. He's in the other room, and I told him, hey, I'm recording, so be quiet. Number 35, the relationship between you and the person you last texted. Oh, that was my mom, and she's my mom. Number 36, favorite food. I just came from a Greek festival, and honestly, I will say 100% Greek food is my favorite food. And then I love pizza. And then probably, I don't know, sushi. Could eat sushi like every day. Like straight up Japanese sushi that's just simple and Americanized. Both versions are okay for me. Number 37, place you want to visit. I want to visit everywhere, honestly. The place I'd really like to visit right now is California. Talking outside the US, I'd love to go to Japan or Europe. Honestly, I've never been outside the US except for Mexico and Canada. So, take me anywhere. Last place you were? That's an interesting question. Besides my apartment, which I am in right now, I was at the Greek Festival in my city. That's the last place I was before. Number 39. Do you have a crush? I do. Number 40. Last time you kissed someone? This morning. I think that's when we kissed last. Number 41. Last time I was insulted. I don't know. Like almost 2 weeks ago? I don't know. 42. Favorite flavor of sweet? Like what does that mean? Candy or pastry or are we talking like flavors of candy? Because if we're talking flavors of candy, blue raspberry and watermelon, anything are my favorite. Like they're my favorite Airheads, they're my favorite lollipops, they're my favorite everything. So there you go. Number 33, what instruments do you play? I still know how to play the trumpet. That's what I played in band from 4th grade to 8th grade. I still like could play it, I guess. I know how to play the piano like very marginally. Like I took a piano class in college. I can do very basic stuff and I can play like power chords on the guitar, but other than that I'm no maestro at anything. So I wish that I was. I wish that I actually like learned how to play the piano when I was young because I love it, and I wish that my dad was a better teacher because he was terrible and taught me how to play guitar because he's a really good guitar player. Number 44, your favorite piece of jewelry? Besides this piece of jewelry, I think this that I got for my birthday last year is my favorite piece of jewelry. It's a vintage, let's see if I can get it to focus. It's a vintage sterling silver ring with real quartz and 2 real opals. It's so like hippie, bohemian, 90s teen witch. I'm so into it. It was made in the 70s. It was a really good find at an antique mall. Probably my favorite after this one that I wear here all the time. 45. Number 45. Last sport I played. Last sport I played. I played softball when I was in high school. Like in leagues in the summer, not even on the school team. So that was the last sport I played because technically ballet doesn't count even though I took ballet for like 20 years. And I'm like classically trained. Let's just say that, okay? Because that's some hardcore shit. Number 46, what was the last song you sang? And I don't even know. I sing a lot of really random songs around the house. Like for real, the last song I sang was I was singing Little Miss, Little Miss, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong because I was listening to my 90s playlist. Number 47, what's your favorite pickup line? I don't use pickup lines, so we're skipping that because the next question is, have you ever used it? Number 49, last time you hung out with anyone? Last time I hung out with anyone besides Brian, I have pretty much like weekly FaceTime dates with my best friend, Christina. Does that count? Because she lives in Virginia, so I can't really like actually hang out with her, although I am going to visit her next week. That's pretty fun. So yeah, I hung out with my parents. I hung out with mine and Brian's friend Dan on Sunday, and we watched movies, and we're really like shitty about the movies together. I don't know. I have a very exciting social life, can't you tell? So exciting. And then number 50 is who should answer these questions next, and anybody who wants to answer these questions, please do. And if you actually do, send me like a link of you answering them. I would love to hear that. My camera battery is dying, so I'm gonna wrap this up pretty quick. But I just want to thank you guys, any of you who've watched my videos at any point throughout this 4-year journey. I do YouTube just because it's fun for me, not because I'm trying to like, I don't know. I just do YouTube because it's fun for me. So the fact that any of you want to watch any of these videos at all, thank you. That's thank you to all of you who even want to invest any amount of time in me. It really means a lot to me, truly. I can't ever express that. Like, I'm just me, and the fact that any of you want to listen to me is kind of crazy. So, thank you for the past 4 years, and here's to hopefully 4 more, and hopefully having up more regular content. I'm going to try to film some videos before I leave. Like, I want to film an empties video because I actually have trash, and I think it would be dumb to move that trash to my new place, so hopefully I'll film that before I move out. So, please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want, and remember, stay cheap and lazy. What am I doing? Oh my god, this new bright, I got a new light, and it's so freaking bright, like I can't even look at it. Oh, it's making my eye twitch.